Are you still calling plays?
Yes.
A tendency thing about the red zone. I think you guys have the highest run percentage in the red zone in the league. And is that like a wise man avoids all extremes type thing, or is that because you guys feel like that is one of your strengths?
Yeah, I think it's that's something that we've done here for the last 3 years. Is philosophical, of just being able to run the ball in the red zone and give yourself a chance. We're oftentimes we're in 4-down mode down there, so we're trying to play for all 4 downs, and I think that's just a part of who we are and what our identity is offensively, and that's kind of what it's been the last 3 years.
When teams are playing cover 4 and stuff like that, like against you guys, try to slow the explosive plays down, how important is the patience? How do you balance the patience of trying just to take what defense gives you, but also trying to be aggressive downfield?
Yeah, I mean, that's a line you definitely have to walk, right? I think the biggest thing is you want to try to create as many explosives as possible, right? And I think you definitely have to balance that, because when you have to go on 12, 13, 14, 15 play drives to score, I think it just it magnifies everything, right? And the easiest way to score is to create big plays. And, so we got to do a great job. I have to do a great job of putting us in situations to create some more chunks and not have to take so many plays to go score.
As a fellow coordinator, what was your reaction when, Sean and Matt switched positions?
My first reaction is I think the biggest thing for me was control what I can control. And I've learned this a long time ago is mow your own grass, man. You got a lot of stuff to worry about, a lot of stuff to take care of that directly pertains to you, and focus on your job and your process and what you need to do in order to make things go.
Brian, how would you assess Tyler Steen's development, and how do you think the exposure he had in that early game that he started?
Yeah, he started in the Dallas game. Thought he did a great job. Obviously our offensive line and those guys have so much experience, and he's able to learn from some really, really good players. And I think the way that thing is structured obviously puts him in a position to where he can go in there and have success. But he's a very talented player. He's worked at it, and he's definitely got a bright future.
On the interception at the end of the game, how do you balance going for a chunk play like that with how many yards do we need to get into?
Yeah, you got to get to the line, and with 2 timeouts there, you got to just we got to put ourselves in a position. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, in this particular case. We end up having an interception there and ended the football game. But, those 2-minute type situations with the game on the line are, is really what this league comes down to so often, so many weeks, and being able to execute in those situations and give yourself a chance.
Brian, on the shot play to Quez, was that as a result of a check based off what the defense was doing? Did AJ get that check, and did Jalen make the right decision?
Well, it was a play. I mean, it's a 3-level pass concept. So, it's something that we run, that we've run a ton. And, sometimes coverage dictates where the ball goes. So, in that particular case, you got a one-on-one shot with the safety with some speed running down the field. And, all of these plays really have like multiple options, and the ball can go to a bunch of different places based on how the defense is presented. So, you got to credit him. He made a great play on the ball.
But was there check? Did he change the play at the line? I think, did he change the play at the line, or is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say that.
Quez and AJ were communicating right before the snap, almost like through the snap it looked like. So just trying to get clarity.
Yeah. Oh no. I don't. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. No. They didn't do anything wrong.
Well, why do you think you guys have had so many problems with the outside screen passes? It almost seems like they're sniffing them out before. With
like the RPO screens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, is guys are doing a good job of forcing the block, you know, and you got to do a great job of keep complementing that and just continue to run some of those plays like we ran against Buffalo, where you know you get the fake bubbles and goes and things of that nature, and continuing to set them up, you know. But I think that is also you know, a credit to some of the defenses in terms of being able to be stout and set edges in the run game.
Back to the, you're talking about the response to your coaching change on the defensive side. Did that change create urgency for you? You said, you know, mow your own grass, but did that create some urgency on how you were approaching it?
I don't think anything, I mean, urgency never needs to be created in this profession, you know, so everything that we do is urgent. There's always an eagerness and a desire to get the best result possible. And so, you know, independent of anything else, like that's who I am, that's who we are as people in this building. So that's, you know, I think that's internal.
Ryan, your longest pass completion of the game was early on Dallas over the middle. The numbers over the middle haven't been great this year. You know, why has that been, and is there an opportunity maybe to you know, take that completion there and build off of it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, anytime you have Dallas Goedert work in the middle of the field, I think that's a huge positive for us. You know, and being able to turn some of those plays into explosives in the middle of the field is obviously really important, like I talked about, in terms of being able to create some scoring drives that are 5, 6, 7 plays as opposed to 13, 14, 15 plays. So, you know, that's something that we are really working on to try to make sure that, you know, we can put ourselves in the best position every trip out.
When it comes to
Brian,
those
when you look at the
explosive- Giants,
Giants, what has Thibodeau been doing that is making him so much more of a factor this year?
Yeah, well, Kayvon's he's an excellent player. He's got a ton of sacks, a ton of production in his pass rushing. You know, our guys we played him 3 times now, and he's a guy that's, you know, very, very active, and you know, he moves around, he plays both sides, and you know, he's a guy that definitely we have to be ready for on Monday.
When it comes to those explosive plays, Brian, how much work can you do throughout the game when you're calling it to make sure you set them up, or does that not come?
Yeah, no, that's what, you know, I think the whole deal is being able to have that feel and being able to mix and match so you can try to create some chunks based off of a couple things, right? Based off of pass, based off of other runs, based off of play action, and just trying to create those chunks and give yourself an opportunity to get down in the red zone a little quicker.
Did Jalen's condition, he was sick and all that, and seemed to be getting worse as the game went on. I was wondering if that kind of affected or impacted your play calling.
No, he was out there. You know, Jalen's a competitor. He's a tough warrior. You know, he's obviously somebody I have a tremendous amount of respect for. You know, for him to go battle what he was battling and go out there and play, I mean, I think that says everything about him, about the type of person he is, the type of leader he is, the type of competitor he is. So he's someone that, you know, will always rise to the occasion.
How is your history with him sort of coming in handy as you're in a bit of a rough stretch as an offense?
Well, I think you get to have like very just direct conversation, and like all of this is built around coaching is all built around trust, you know, and regardless if you have a relationship prior to becoming someone's coach or the relationship as you get to know people, as you start to coach them, you know, I think everybody wants the same thing, right? And everybody wants to have success. Everybody wants to do their job to the best of their ability. And it's just a matter of making sure that we're all getting there.
Going back to the second interception, Nick talked about the other day, the idea of looking for defensive pass interference with a one-on-one matchup against AJ. How do you kind of reconcile the notion of maybe playing or looking for a DPI on a play versus this concept of
being able to
control what you can control?
Yeah, I think you control what you can control, and you know, obviously AJ Brown is one of the best players in the NFL, and you know, you get some one-on-one opportunities with him, and he's definitely made his fair share of plays in that regard. So, you know, we got some great players on the perimeter, got a great quarterback, and you know, trust those guys to go out there and make plays one-on-one.
How big a factor is Quez's speed as far as not only just, you know, going deep and everything, but like opening things up underneath for AJ, Devontae, Dallas, those guys?
Yeah, I mean, he has rare speed, and you know, I think you just mentioned it, right? It's not always necessarily primary in terms of, you know, blowing the top off of the coverage, but it does, you know, it does create space. And, you know, that's what this game is about, is trying to create as much space as possible to give guys an avenue to make plays with the ball in their hands once they get it.
Couple more?
Is there any one thing over the last 3 weeks that kind of bothers you the most, that you feel like you guys need to address the most?
Yeah, I think there's, you know, when you look at it and you kind of go through it, and it's been a not good 3 weeks, not very good production. You know, definitely not up to the standard that we expect. But again, it's about action and problem solving. How do you fix it, right? And that's the question that I continuously ask myself every single day after every single game. How do you get better? How do you fix it? And you know, I think it's very simple. It comes down to a couple things. And you know, for us, essentially, I think what we have to do is we have to create some more explosive plays. We have to. We have to take care of the football, and we have to score touchdowns in the red zone. And I think that's what you have to do now. How do you do that, right? I think that's the next question that you have to answer. So that is the task. That is the challenge for us. I accept that. No one's running away from that. It's just very matter of fact in terms of, okay, this is what needs to be done. And there's no doubt in my mind, I say this with 1,000% certainty, that we have these people in our offensive room, myself, are all made of the right stuff to get that done. Right. And we're looking forward to going through that.
Finish.
I'm sorry.
Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
Because the Giants blitz so much, are they vulnerable to those explosive plays you talk about?
Well, they do a great job with their blitz package. You know, Coach Martindale is obviously known for that. He's you know, we've played him for three. You know, I think played him 3 times last year. So they have every blitz package you can think of. So we definitely have to be ready to go out there and execute at a high level and make sure our communication is on point.
Okay.